In the grant tracking module, the first screen that we see is the search screen. You can search for grants under a wide variety of criteria. You can search by number, status, name, organization, program area, funding opportunity, title, year, status report and claim status, and you can sort the results. So if we do a search, we get back a list of the grants that match that criteria. We see the ID, the status, year, title, program, organization, and funding opportunity. So we click on a particular title, and then we see the grant subdivided into a number of grant components. Grants are subdivided into components. There are 3 different types of components. The first type are built-in components that come with the system. These are things like the status reports, claims, site visits that come with the system. The second type of component are application forms that are copied from the application into the grant. Examples of this are like the budget, the scope of work, objectives, those types of forms. And then the third type of component are user-defined forms. The system administrator has the capability to create their own user-defined forms and include them in the grant. So we'll go through the list of grant components. The first one is the grant information. This has the high-level information about the grant. Most of this information is copied automatically from the application into the grant. So we have the title, the ID, the status, which can be awarded, underway, suspended, closed, archived. You have the organization, the primary and the secondary contacts. Both the primary and the secondary contacts will receive automated email alerts for when the important events happen on the grant. So when the status report is due, or when a payment is made, or when a site visit is pending, or a contract adjustment has begun, both the primary and the secondary contacts will receive automated email alerts. You have the award year, the program area, the contract sent, received, and executed dates, the project start date, the project end date, internal contacts, and comments. Next, we have a component called the scope of work. The scope of work is an example of a component that's copied automatically from the application into the grant. Once it's in the grant, you can version the component. You can create a new version. You can look at the versions. You can make an old version the current version. So you have the capability to modify the scope of work at any point in time by creating and then versioning the contents of that component. The budget is also copied automatically from the application into the grant. You also have the same versioning capabilities. You can create a new version. You can look at the versions. You can maintain any number of different versions of the budget within the system. You have the version name, the date created, who created it, and comments or reasons or justification for why the component was versioned. You can also negotiate the budget. Negotiating the budget means that you can unlock the budget and allow the grantee themselves to modify the budget for you. So if there's a budget amendment or modification, you can either version the budget and modify it yourself, or you can allow the grantee to modify it for you. If the grantee modifies it for you, then that has to go through an approval process. Internal staff must approve the budget in order for the modified budget to be the official version. If it's rejected, then it just becomes a rejected version. Next, we have the status reports. So status reports are scheduled. So status reports are scheduled according to a rule. And this can be a universal rule, or it can be a rule for each individual grant. The rule can have a schedule type, which can be an absolute date or a relative date. You have the start month, the start day. The report subtype, which can be a monthly, quarterly, interim, final, so you can have many different types of reports. The frequency, whether it's monthly, quarterly, yearly, the number of reports, and whether or not you want to create alerts. And then the system will create a schedule, and these dates will extend into the future. And as these dates approach, the grantee will receive automated email alerts notifying them that their status report is due. Internal staff or the system administrator will create the contents of the status report, and then the grantee will fill out and submit the status report. So the status report has the high-level information, the contact information, which is pulled automatically from the database. You have a reporting period, start date and end date. You have the objectives, whether or not they have been completed. the status description, attachments, and any other kind of questions that you may want to ask in the status report can be customized using the form creator. And then at the top, you have the capability to negotiate the report, withdraw it, make notes, provide feedback, and look at the versions. You also have the capability to approve the status report as well. Next, we have communication. So here there are two types. There are the non-WebGrants communication log, which allows you to record important conversations that happened outside of the system. So if there was a phone call, email, fax, you can indicate who it was from, to, the date sent received, the subject, the message, and you can attach a file. There's also the inner WebGrants grantee correspondence, and this allows you to actually send a message between yourself and the grantee directly from the system. So you can communicate back and forth and have a two-way conversation within the software itself. The benefit of this is that anybody that has access to the grant has access to this communication. If you communicate in your own email, then it's private. Only you can see that. Below that is the site visit. So a site visit form is configured and customized by the system administrator. The site visitor will then visit the site. They will fill out the site visit forms, and then they will submit those forms, which will then be connected to the grant. You have a closeout schedule. Here you can include, you can create a schedule of tasks, the expected completion date, the status, and the actual date completed can be entered. Project outcomes, whether the project was completed on schedule, behind schedule, whether the goals were met. You can also indicate the accomplishments on the project. And then you can attach any number of electronic files to the grant. There's comments, and then the review forms, annotation, the opportunity, and the application is visible from within the grant.